Hey guys, today I got a really interesting video for you, and it's going to be about a thing I see on Instagram a lot called Sarah's Discovery. Hopefully you've seen it. If you haven't, a lot of meme pages are posting it, just a lot of fitness pages, a lot of people are posting about it. It's just at Sarah's Discovery, hashtag Sarah's Discovery, whatever. And I'm going to go into a lot of the lies and deceit and then the science behind how her thing may or may not work. I'm just going to get into the whole thing. So hopefully this pops up right now. So this is Sarah's Instagram right here, and these are all her transformations about her little thing that she quote unquote discovered. So you click on her little healthy newsletter. First thing I'm going to point out is this says Vibrant Enhanced Keto, right? And it says TM, that's her little brand thingy for her little pill. You click off of it, you go and click on it again. Hold on. Now it's called Advanced Formula Keto, All American Keto, Pure Soul Keto. It changes every time you come off and onto the little blog post. I don't know if that shouts whack to you, but it shouts whack to me. I don't think a product should change names every time you click on and off of a blog post. I think it should change. When I had read it, it was called the Hardcore Keto Diet or Ketogenic Diet Trim. Next thing I'm going to cover is the fact that this little diet is not keto at all. It doesn't involve keto or going into ketosis. It's a little pill you take. So let's see. We'll start off. She lost 25 pounds in a month. Her boyfriend lost 42 pounds in just 2 months with this little pill and apple cider vinegar. So she just mixed them together. And another thing I'm going to cover, I just found it right here. It's not actually her discovery. If you read through this, it was a little ad she found of celebrity nutritionists who swore by it. So it's not actually hers. She just found an ad and then decided to mix it with apple cider vinegar. And now she's making a ton of money off of it, selling it to people. Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. So it's a little pill you take, and the pill, what's inside the pill is, when I went and read about it, it was called hydroxycitric acid. There's a lot of studies on hydroxycitric acid, and I'm going to get into that when I talk about the science. But this pill has nothing to do with keto, yet she calls it keto. People that don't know what keto is, it's the lack of carbs in your diet, so you go into ketosis. This doesn't happen. Her entire thing is increase resting metabolism more than 30%, 130%. For people that don't understand what that means, how metabolism works is the amount of energy you burn while you're just chilling, basically like what I'm doing right now. Maybe I'm burning a little bit more because I'm waving my hands, I'm talking, whatever. But for the average person, heart rate is around 60 to 100. Anything below 60 is not healthy. Anything above 100 isn't exactly healthy. So when you boost your heart rate, for a normal person like her, a person that doesn't have a lot of muscle, they have a lower metabolism, such as a person like myself. Not claiming I have a lot of muscle, but I have more than her, obviously, so I burn more calories in just sitting down because I have more muscle. People with more muscle are going to burn more calories, and people with a higher heart rate are going to burn more calories. So boosting your heart rate isn't exactly a bad thing, but when, let's take it to the absolute minimum. You have a heart rate of 60. I don't know a lot of people who do. I would say a healthy bit is around 80, and if you're an athlete, a little bit higher, but just an average would be 80, but we're going to go 60. If you increase your heart rate by 130% and it's at 60 already, it goes to 138. Now, you don't get cardiac arrest at 138 beats per minute, but having a heart rate above 100 constantly is not good for you at all. So this is not only a lie. I went and looked at what hydroxycitric acid does. This does not, it's not in the description of what it does, but also that's kind of dangerous. Flush out harmful toxins. There was nothing I saw in all the studies I read that talked about flushing out harmful toxins. Same with boosting energy levels and increasing your mood. Nothing about that either. There was things about blocking excess fat production, lipogenesis, which is when you eat, if you don't burn those calories, they turn into fat cells. And what this is said to do is it's said to block lipogenesis, so you're not able to do that, right? So I've already explained that this little pill you take is hydroxytric acid. She mixes it with apple cider vinegar. She says it right here. Uh, and this right here just shows that it's not keto at all. And another side effect, I forgot this one, she didn't list it right here, is hydroxytric acid also curbs your diet, which is true. I read every single study and it said that it does curb your diet. So that's actually how she lost all this weight, not because of some crazy 130% jump or it blocking fat production, because neither of those things were proven. It was proven to block how much you wanted to eat, though. I don't know exactly why. Didn't say some crazy specifics like that, but that's what it said. Now, there was somewhere in here, she keeps calling it a diet. It's not a diet. I don't know why she's doing that or saying that. And I don't know where it is, but anyways, we'll just skip that. So basically, I'm gonna go into this. This is hydroxytric acid. This is a lot of studies, a lot of things that talk about it, and all that good stuff. So animal studies have indicated that hydroxytric suppresses fatty acid synthesis or lipogenesis, reduces food intake, and induces weight loss. Now, it actually has not been proven to induce weight loss, and it has mildly affected fatty acid synthesis, and I will go into all the studies. I'll just go down the list, and I'll make points of a lot of things. So, the most rigorous trial published to date was a 12-week randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. What that means is there was two groups. One took a placebo, one actually took the hydroxytric acid. And it was 135 overweight men and women. 135 does not mean you're overweight. That's a pretty crazy standard, but we're not going to talk about it. A daily dose of 3,000 milligrams containing of hydroxytric acid 3 times a day, 3 minutes before meals. So if what she said was true, 130% increase to your heart rate, and they did it 3 times a day, that is for 12 weeks. That's obviously not healthy, because if you look up anything above 100 heartbeat for a good amount of time, you should definitely see a doctor. Now it says both group lost weight, and that is because they were on a high fiber, low energy diet, which means the more fiber you have, the more satiated you are, which means you're not going to eat as much. So they didn't even get to prove whether or not the hydroxytric acid made it to where you weren't as hungry, right? But critics of the study point out the participants were not placed in a high carbohydrate diet, and blood levels weren't monitored, blah, blah, blah. That really wouldn't do anything. Any diet would work. They're just trying to prove that this works when it really doesn't. Now you go down the list. There was somewhere in here, however, clinical studies have yielded controversial findings. I read all these studies. That's true. It said somewhere there was 8 studies. There was 5 that were proven that this works, and 3 that proved that it didn't work. And then they later said, there it is, shortcomings that could have introduced bias. 5 of the studies showed beneficial effects. 2 were published only as abstracts and only had methodological shortcomings that could have introduced bias. Now, when I go and read all the things listed right here, it all says that this does not work. So, let's see. Studies investigating HGA's effect in promoting weight loss in humans has been disappointing, although modest weight loss has been observed. This is hydroxytric acid. This is the fruit it comes from, are ineffective for weight loss. It says it right there. That's just one study. So fine. You want to go for more studies? It was hypothesized. It increases fat oxidation, reduces food intake, blah, blah, blah. And the study proved that that was wrong. It says right here, hydroxytric acid also increases hepatolytic glycogen synthesis, suppresses appetite, and decreases body weight and gain in rats. The hydroxytric acid protected against high-fat diet, induced obesity in rats by inhibiting fatty acid synthesis activity, glucose resistance, and by enhancing gene expression and enzymatic activity involved in fatty acid. Okay. And I didn't even get to read this one before. This wasn't here before, but apparently it leads to liver failure. Wow, that's fantastic. I didn't even have to know that. You guys saw that live right there. That sounds fantastic. Oh, man. Love selling things that harmful to people. It just, the deceit that was in her little blog already made me mad. The first thing I said when I saw this little Sarah's discovery was, if it doesn't include a calorie deficit, I'm making a video on it. And it happened to be a lot more interesting because it had this hydrocitric acid, and I got to look into it and read all these things. And every single one I've read so far, it just says that it doesn't work. So she's selling this thing, and apparently it's actually really dangerous to you. Not even because of how it increases your heart rate or whatever, but it's just dangerous to your liver and all that good stuff. So that's fantastic. Selling a product that is extremely dangerous to people, that's phenomenal. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of, I guess, throw some smoke at the fact that that's really edgy, that not only does there's a bunch of lies on her thing, but when you click on it, the name changes. I look into hydrocitric acid, and it says that it's unhealthy. I just read that. I read that it doesn't do anything. It had mild effects in rats, but when it was tested on humans, it didn't work almost at all. So maybe it curbs your appetite. It was kind of proven that it did that. It did not say it prevented lipogenesis, making calories into your fat cells. If it did do that, another good point is, if you weren't using that energy and it wasn't being made in the fat, where would that energy go? You would be losing your mind. It'd be like taking a bunch of caffeine. You would go crazy because you'd have so much energy, right? Your insulin levels would rise. You'd have crazy high blood sugar, and then you just go crazy. And if you had that much, they're taking it 3 times a day for 12 weeks. That means it's just stacking up and up and up. So obviously, it does not do that by preventing lipogenesis. I don't know why people think of the logical things like that. But yeah, the liver, that was crazy, saying that it was bad for your liver, bad for your heart, keeping your heart rate above. If it does that, it does not, obviously. No one mentioned that it kept your heart rate above over 100. And then it's not actually keto. That was a good point. They're just trying to scam you, doing all these crazy things. They want you to believe there's some magic pill that you take, when in reality, all you need to do is stop eating and maybe go for a walk. You don't even have to go for a walk. You just cut a little portion out, just a tiny portion. You eat a bowl of cereal, eat half as much as cereal. Whoop-de-doo, you could be in a calorie deficit. If you were in a calorie surplus, you got to cut a little bit more out. You just got to trial and error with it. And for some reason, people don't see how simple it is to go and do that. Instead, they want to find some magic pill, whether it's this hydrocitric acid, it's apple cider vinegar, it's steroids, it's some shake weight product, way slimmer, cleansing tea. They just want some simple way to do it, and it's not easy like that. It's as easy as not eating as much. That's all it takes. You can sit on your ass all day, and if you have 1 Big Mac a day, you're gonna lose fat. That's how it works. You can't break the laws of thermogenesis. It's that simple. You just don't eat, you won't gain fat, you'll lose fat instead. You don't even need to work out to lose fat. It's as simple as that. People don't understand that for some reason, and they try to go for these stupid things, and they waste their money on these dumb products, and it's starting to really piss me off, especially when people lie like they do on that thing. 130% of your heart increase, that's obviously a lie. It's keto, it's definitely a lie. Nothing involved in her little diet thing. It was not keto. It was 0% keto, 0%. And then you go and read actual studies from real scientists saying that, hey, it actually doesn't work, or this does work, this doesn't work. And every single study that was listed on that site said that it didn't work. So obviously it doesn't work. Like, I don't need to go super in depth to every single study possible when there's multiple that say it doesn't work, and maybe there's 1 or 2 that says it works. And they weren't even listed. Like, all the ones I saw, I read it on my phone, so it looked a bit different to me. That's why it took me a little bit longer to find stuff. They weren't there. There's nothing good about this hydrocitric acid. It's a waste of your money. Instead, just eat less and save money. You'll save money by eating less, and you'll be getting what you want. It's as simple as that. People just don't realize it. They just want some easy way out, and it's not easy. You just got to stop eating, put the fork down, go on a walk, Whoop-de-doo, you lose fat. That's as simple it is. It is. And that's all I got to cover this. Hopefully you guys enjoy it being a kind of little rant and me getting kind of pissed off and reading studies and being able to throw it up on screen so you guys could see it. I thought that was really good. I figured that out. So I'll probably be doing that a lot more in videos. I hope you guys liked it and I appreciate that fact that you were able to read along with me and kind of see, like, go with what I'm saying while I prove it on screen. So that was pretty cool. But that's really all I got for this video. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe, hit the bell button, go follow my Insta, all that good stuff. Leave a comment, whatever you want, and I'll see you in the next one.